Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another film review. Today, we are going to review Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. IMDb gave this an 8.0 in terms of a rating. This film is starring Michelle Yeoh. I
Mhm,
didn't even know who Michelle Yeoh was, right? I got
mhm.
introduced to Michelle Yeoh in Star Trek Discovery.
Really? Okay.
Yes, she played in the first 2 seasons and she killed it. And I was like, who is this person?
Okay. My first introduction to her was from Tomorrow Never Dies, a James Bond movie. That's the first time I saw her, and I was like,
Oh,
"All right,
yes.
let's go."
Yes. Yes, dude.
And then Crouching Tiger happened like a couple years after that, and I
Mhm.
was like, "Yo, this girl is fire."
Yeah. She's
Mhm,
she basically did a lot of stuff. She's Malaysian. She did a lot of stuff. I think she had an accident and then she like chilled out. She, for years she didn't do anything. Then she came back. And dude, she was in
mhm.
like probably 6 films last year.
Yeah, she did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I
She's in
mean,
the Crazy Rich Asians too.
she
There's a bunch of
is
things, man.
she did a bunch of stuff, dude. Michelle Yeoh is she should win a few Oscars. Hopefully she will. But what
I want her to win this year. Like she deserves it.
I wanted to win a lot. I want this movie to win big. I want like All Quiet on the
Mhm.
Western Front to win big because
Yes,
these two
absolutely.
movies they're different. They're not American movies. They're different. It's just like, hey, we're gonna do something different. When have you seen a movie like that in the last 5 years?
It's been a long time, to be honest, that we see a
Right.
movie that's like just creative like this.
It's so
And
creative.
because, like, we got our cookie cutter movies or like a sequel to some, comic book or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it's the original screenplay, it's great acting across the board, great acting. Like you really feel for them throughout the movie. Um, Storyline was crazy. Like I've never seen anything like this.
Never.
So like I was from the movie when they started in the beginning of the thing. I was invested the whole way through,
Yeah.
and that's a testament to like quality screenwriting and directing. And it's simply like Hollywood's lacking at this point. It's abysmal watching some of these movies. Like it's awful because they're they're just the straight cookie cutter, straightforward, whatever. There's no
Hollywood.
twists and turns. It's not interesting. Like you see stuff coming a mile away. I had no idea where this movie was going. Like
No
I had
idea.
no idea.
I guess people are waiting for the next Transformer movie.
Yeah,
Really.
like something like the Marvel movie, whatever it
Yeah.
is. Like just wait.
Come on, right?
The fact that this movie was going and I was on the edge of my seat the whole way through. That's a testament to quality writing and directing, which we are lacking. I can't say this any other way. We are
Mhm.
lacking this
This
good
movie
stuff.
this movie was 2 hours and 18, 20 minutes long. The first
Mhm.
hour of this movie was really good. The next
Yeah.
hour and 20 minutes, super good. And I was just like, I said,
Yes.
we were just talking
Yeah.
about this offline that, the budget for this movie was 25 million. Thus far,
Mhm.
global worldwide sales, gross sales, $105 million.
Mhm. Yeah. But it's the thing though. It goes back to I can tell a good story and I don't need $300 million to tell a good story.
Yeah,
25 is good. That's all I
yeah.
needed.
Mhm.
25. This should be a slap in the face to all of these directors that are doing these Marvel movies and all these other comic book movies. Like you guys suck. And you suck because you have an abundance of wealth of graphics people to do things for you.
Yeah.
You do a green screen. I will fix it in post later on. These guys didn't have that luxury. They had to tell
No.
a good story, cut it right the first time, making sure it was good. The good acting was good. Everything had to be right. The way they make Marvel movies now, and it's not a diss on Marvel Disney, but like the way they do it now is they shoot different scenes with different directions, and they just cut it up later on and figure out the storyline in the
Yeah.
editing bay. Like that's the worst way to tell a story,
Yeah.
and it shows. It
Yeah.
absolutely shows.
You know,
Everything's
it,
generic.
you know, in Hollywood, sometimes you can feel that a movie it was just put together in a lazy way. People are lazy, right? It's just
Yes,
like
you can feel it. You can
you can
feel it when
feel
you
it,
start
right?
watching.
When I
Yeah, yeah.
watched this movie, I was like, no, whoever put this together, the whole team,
Mhm,
everyone, right? Everyone who put this movie together, everyone who was in this movie, this joint,
mhm.
people were like, I'm invested in this movie. Let's do it right.
Yeah,
And there were
you can
only
tell everybody cared.
everyone,
Everybody.
right? And in terms of American stars, Jamie Lee Curtis, like I said, I had to like really like
Mhm,
look and figure out that that's Jamie Lee Curtis, right? So the
mhm,
makeup was pretty awesome. And then
mhm,
obviously Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh already won a Goldie for Best
mhm.
Actress for this movie as well, right? A Golden Globes. There were some really funny parts in this movie, like the Frank
Yeah, the
fingers. I
movie's
love
hilarious
those.
too.
That was like series with the Frank fingers, and it was so weird because it's like, okay, so they were puffing like just puffing on some THC, and then I
Yeah, yeah,
guess
somebody had to be high when they wrote that.
yeah, so I guess all of a sudden they started to have a relationship in a totally different universe. Really quickly, the movie is about just basically there were different universes that it
Yeah,
seemed like
she
all individuals had the ability to traverse through, right?
Yeah, because but you had to do crazy things, like stuff that's out of the ordinary that you would
Mhm.
never do to jump between the universes, which is
Right.
kinda a clever idea.
Yeah.
Like, she had to get gum from underneath the table, put her
Right.
shoes on backwards,
Mhm.
like, hit her head with a stapler, like, just all this craziness that you wouldn't normally have to do, and, like, the storyline between her and her daughter was interesting. Like, there was just so much stuff. So, basically, this is, it was like a middle-aged mother, she's running a laundromat, and she's dealing with her daughter and life, whatever, and kind of goes through a crisis. That's the best way I describe
That's
it. She
basically
goes
it.
through a crisis,
Mhm.
and
And
yeah,
mhm.
she goes jumps through because it's like it was tax purposes. I forgot it was. I think it was
Yeah,
tax.
she was back taxes. She was about to lose a laundromat.
Yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah. So like
and
they're
yeah.
because of that, they had to go meet her at the tax lady,
Mhm.
and they're jumping through universes, and she's experiencing different parts of herself, and she had to learn more about herself from other universes. That all of this stuff was cool. Like it reminded me of the Matrix. It reminded me of like the was it the World of Tomorrow? I forgot the Tom Cruise movie.
Did it remind you of The Sandman?
A little bit,
A little
a
bit,
little
right?
bit.
Because they're
Yeah,
just
it's a
traversing through different universes, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was a
Mhm.
bunch of different things, but, like, it's good parts of it. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, take the trash from these other movies, like, it's good concepts, and I liked how they transferred between them, and, like, how ghetto everything was.
Oh my
Like, they're in the
goodness.
van, and they're like
Yeah. Let
this
me
is so super silly,
let me
but
let
it
me give you a
was
really quick
cool.
story. About 2 months ago, my washer and dryer went out, right?
Mhm,
And so it took like maybe 3 months. It took almost a month for it to be delivered. So we had to go
mhm.
to the laundromat to clean clothes.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
That's experience, man. When you got a house, that's like, wow.
right. I went to this laundromat and it looked exactly like the laundromat I was looking at in this movie. I was like, is this a template for like laundromats? You know?
Yes, they're all the same. They're all the
Wow,
same.
yeah, so it's, and, living in, growing up in New Jersey, you saw a lot of laundromats and apartments over, like, laundromats. That was
Oh,
just,
yeah.
like, you Route
Absolutely,
1,
yeah.
Livingston, Elizabeth, Newark, Jersey City, it's all like that, right? So that's not
Mhm,
unusual, but this was a great movie, man. I think
mhm,
Hollywood should be on notice now that there are a lot of great films that are coming out and TV series that are coming out.
mhm.
They don't check boxes.
Yeah, just doing whatever they can
They just
with
it's
whatever
like,
they
"Hey."
got.
Exactly. So, I mean, again, we were talking about like maybe the Transformers is coming out. It's just like, what else? So they're regurgitating all this
Mhm,
old stuff and they're like recreating it. And it's just like, oh, but I already saw that.
mhm.
What's going to be different about this? I want to see new and fresh
Yeah,
stuff, which is why some of the foreign stuff is so awesome because it's new and fresh
yeah.
and interesting, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing, like, I think Hollywood has to have a reckoning soon because basically the comic book movies have been keeping the lights on for the last, like, 20 years at this point, 15
And the
years,
Transformers.
and it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So they need to come to Jesus moment and say like, okay, we're not gonna make a movie that costs $300 million. We can't afford that. We're gonna do a movie with $10 million and some
Mhm.
good special effects. Go forth with that. That's what you got. Hopefully, Hollywood cleanses itself and tries to come up with new creative things now because like you have all the technology in the world. You can make a movie on an iPhone now and it'll look good. Like there's no
I,
excuse.
I've seen some. I've seen some. You know, they have
I've
like
so much. I've seen
shorts.
the
You know, I was just like, wow, an iPhone. Would you give this
Mhm.
like picture of the year, film of the year?
Yeah.
You would have?
It's a quality movie. Yeah. Well, I would say picture of the year though. I like
Hmm.
my picture of the year, but
Tom Cruise.
it's a great movie, man.
Hmm. Yeah,
This is a great movie. Even though that was a sequel from a picture of the year, but like this is a great movie, and I think that we need to reward this more of this stuff because I saw this in the theater when it came out, and
yeah.
like we need more movies like this to come out, and we need to support it, and hopefully Hollywood gets the message and they scale back these sequels and do some creative stuff. That's the hope.
Every Hollywood studio should now look at this film and say to
Mhm.
directors and producers who are coming to them saying, hey, I have a script. I need like $150 million to do this. And can you say, um, what was the Jupiter's Legacy, which was $130 million, right? So it's just like, well, wait a minute, you need $150 million to do what?
Mhm.
But they just made Everything Everywhere All at Once for 25 million. Why do you need 130 million?
The technology is so good right now, it
Yeah,
shouldn't require this much to do this stuff anymore.
no,
And unless you're shooting on location, like Mission Impossible, what are we doing here, man? Like,
yeah,
we're just throwing money away just because they can. Like, they're getting extra pretzels, like extra cheese on their Whopper. Like, this is
yeah.
ridiculous. We
This
need
is
to
crazy. I mean,
mellow this thing down with the budgets and
and
just get back to making good movies.
exactly, because this money is all like in America and Hollywood, this money is spent on like the actors, the trailers,
Mhm.
the writers, I need, like vitamin
Yeah,
water and celery like 4 times a day or something like that. It's all
yeah,
this crazy stuff. I need my wife and
yeah.
my daughter to be in this hotel while I'm filming, yada yada yada. So, it's
Mhm,
just like a level of capitalism that is
mhm,
ingrained here, like in North America, because a lot of films are being made in America and a lot of films are
mhm.
being made in Canada. And,
Yeah,
the only thing that's cheap in Canada is like the location, but the actors and everyone else still have to get
yeah,
paid,
everybody's full cost. Yeah, full
Right,
cost.
exactly.
Well,
So it's just
I
crazy.
look at it like this, man. We're at this point now where we got to be like, did this movie look like it cost $200 million? Yes or no? And a lot of times it's no.
Mhm.
You really think about it. There's a lot of movies that are like with green screens and everything else. It doesn't look like it costs any money. Like
Yeah.
a good example, Dune. Dune looks like it cost 200, whatever it cost to make that movie.
Mhm.
It feels like that money was well spent. A movie like this, the money feels like it's well spent. And I see some of these other movies that are going on right now, and I'm like, where'd the money go? Do you guys like laundering money? Like, what's happening here? Like, where did the money go? It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it went into the project.
Dune was 200 million, the last Dune we saw.
Yeah, where because they had like they went into the middle of the desert and built a lot of that stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
This is all practical. They had
Dune
like
was
natural light. They had to shoot
yeah.
during the day for natural light. There's a bunch of stuff they did
Someone
to
needs a
make it feel
refund
real.
because I thought Dune was okay, but for 200 million, no. No. Someone needs a refund. For
I know
real.
we differ on this one.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie do like at least 3 times, and I saw it in theater too. I'm like, money well spent. I know you
Really?
hated it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, money well spent.
Listen,
Well spent.
it's not that I didn't hate the movie. I just thought that, this is a
You thought it
Sam
was
movie
okay.
and I want to see the next one whenever that comes out. I don't know, maybe 2 years from now, right?
I think almost done filming it now. I think they're
It
done
kind of like,
almost.
we'll get off of Dune, but 200
Yeah,
million,
yeah,
Dune, and
yeah.
then Everything Everywhere all at once, 25 million. Just goes to show you, like we were saying, that
Mhm.
American capitalism, when it comes to Hollywood, it is what it is. That's the system, that's the industry. People
I'll
work,
say this.
people are out there, they should get paid. That's just how it is.
Yeah, no, I'll say this because I know I read the books, I know where this is going,
Hmm.
and that's why I'm like, dude, let's go. I need to do more, dude, please. I know where
Okay.
this is going,
Yeah.
and is
Hmm.
if they can pull it off the way that was going, I think it'll be worth it. But that's a whole other argument.
Yeah, I didn't hate the movie. I just thought like for 200 million, I thought I wanted to see more because
Mhm.
I saw a lot more in a $25 million film than I did in a
Yeah, well, they
$200 million
split that movie in
film.
half. They should have put it all together, but that's a
Yeah, that's
different
crazy.
argument.
What do you think about Everything Everywhere All at Once? What are you going to rate this movie?
At least an 8.5 for me. Yeah, I thought it
Okay,
was
wow.
great.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I am going to
like,
give it
it's
a
solid.
9.5
Okay.
because man, this movie was awesome. I am going to watch this movie probably another 2 or 3 times, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm going to watch Dune again because, a lot of times we'll watch something and we'll have conversations, we'll communicate about stuff, and then you
Mhm.
kind of like, just say you say things, and it's just like I'm like, okay, I want to see this again, see what Keo's talking about. So I'm gonna watch it again. But yeah, I'm giving this a 9.5 because
Mhm,
wow, Michelle Yeoh, wow, Jamie Lee Curtis, wow, 25 million, wow,
mhm.
11 Oscar nods, wow,
Yeah, I think
awesome,
they put it back in the theater because they're doing so well right now. So,
awesome.
yes, I hope it does more. It needs
It
to do
makes
more.
sense because they got the 11 nods and people are like, well, wait,
Mhm.
can I go see it? Yeah, you can see it on Showtime. That's how I saw it on Showtime.
Eh,
But now putting it back in the theater, man, they just about to bubble things up, and just get more money. And it's
mhm.
probably going to stay in the theaters until after like the Oscars, huh?
Yeah, it was the Oscars the next month, I think, February?
It's coming up, dude. It's coming up.
Yeah, yeah, because like, it's one of the things when it gets this much acclaim, people are
Mhm.
like, "Yo, I never saw that movie. What the hell is
Yeah.
this about?" And,
And
for people who haven't seen it yet, it's worth it. It's a great movie. Mhm,
9.5 for me. Keo gave it an 8.
mhm. 8.5. I get 8.5.
8.5. There you have it. Wow. This is a great movie, man. I'm serious. I love this movie.
Mhm.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
Alright.